Well, for
Yeah.
those on the call who don't know you, you spent over 2 decades, 21 years helping to build Rockstar Energy Drink. So you know marketing. You understand marketing very well, and you also understand motorsports marketing, action sports marketing, music marketing. When Rockstar was sold to Pepsi, you went off and started your own venture, and then that became Bob the Cooler Company. And now you're applying what you've learned in marketing through motorsports to the cooler company. So we have about 12 minutes or so. There are a lot of racers on the call looking to get sponsored. It doesn't just have to be by your company or any specific brand. What advice do you have to a racer, a rider, or a team on the call looking to get sponsored?
Yeah, I mean, everyone said so many great things that it's kind of hard for me to follow that up and also to be the last on the call to throw my 2 cents in. But you know, I have to say, listen, don't just send an email, don't just send a DM, say, hey, sponsor me, here's my deck. I think that's probably the biggest turn off from a sponsor side. I think if I could make any recommendation, it's reach out and build a relationship first. Reach out and say, I'm super stoked on your product. I use it in this way, or I'm stoked on your brand. And to be honest, in order to be, honest about, what you say, maybe it requires you buying the product first. And, if you haven't used it in the past, buy it, try it, talk about it, especially in a brand that's, in its infancy like ours, we see that stuff. We see when people repost on social media, and I guarantee you some of these bigger brands are paying attention to it as well. It's a great way to get noticed, but just don't have your hand out, come in, be genuine, let them know that you're really interested in their product, in their brand, what they're doing, and let them know that you'd like to find a way to crawl, walk, run. Not every, and I understand there's a lot of, teams, athletes that are at the level that they should probably be getting a check and they should be able to have an agent represent them. But I think for probably the majority of people on this call, they're in a grassroots position that money's not flying at them, and they don't have agents that are able to represent them. So it's like you gotta kind of cut your teeth. And same thing both my wife and I tell our 11-year-old daughter every day she leaves for school is find a way to win. Find a way to win, which means not just on the track, that means at school when she's there with her relationships with kids on the campus, with the teachers, so on and so forth. And I know it's kind of a short-sighted way to explain this in a racing and sponsorship category, but it is relevant. Find a way to win, and that means if you've got to put the time in, put the dues in, don't give up. Keep reaching out. Keep being being a pest if you have to, but do it in the right way. And anyways, I digress, but that's the short side of my 2 cents here.
So,
So
because you have a lot of experience with an energy drink marketing, that's probably a majority of your experience at this point. How do you see sponsorships differing from a potentially everyday purchase to maybe once in a year, or once every 2 year purchase? Because you might buy an energy drink on a daily basis, some people, but you're not going to buy a cooler on a daily basis, especially not a premium cooler that's several $100s. How does sponsorship and representation vary and change based upon a sponsor's product?
yeah, I mean, if we're talking about, apples and oranges from drinks to coolers. I mean, for us, it's definitely changed. It's not like it used to be. We couldn't give out, cases of product and say, "Hey, thanks for signing up. You're on our athlete, endorsement program for free product." We're still doing that, but the product has a much higher value, and we hope that that goes a lot further. When we are giving away a $500-600 cooler plus drinkware plus, we hope that that does count for something with an athlete that is actually using that product at the track. It's part of the requirement, whether it's a water bottle on the sidelines or a cooler at the camper. So I mean, for us, if that answers your question, Alex, I'm not sure, but it's a completely different world for sure. I'm having to learn a lot as we go here.
Because I figured, with the older company that's more well known and established, and especially beverage company, a primary purpose and goal of the sponsorship is sampling. It's getting the product tried and tested and tasted by people who haven't tried it before. Whereas a young company, I think you're less than a year old right now, you're
Mhm.
probably looking for distribution channels and you're looking for new customers and brand awareness, so new customers are aware that you are an alternative to the more popular that have been out there for 5, 10, 20, 30 years. There's Coleman, there's Yeti, there's a bunch of coolers out there that a lot of people already know. So when your athletes are promoting a beverage, it's kind of like here's a free sample, try it, see if you like it. If you do, go to the grocery store and buy one. When you're promoting a cooler or cooler related products, it's more about here's what we have, here are the benefits, here are the features, and here's where you can buy it. And I'm assuming that that's where the difference is in representation is what you want your brand ambassadors to do on your behalf.
Absolutely. I mean, word of mouth is still the best form of marketing there ever will be. And, having our products being used and also having athletes be able to, in some form or fashion, even if it's in a small community of being in the pits and being like, hey, I've got my bob. And it's not even always saying something, it's just actually using it and, being stoked on it goes a long ways for sure.
Are you looking for more motorcycle racers to sponsor?
We are. I mean, we're always looking for new opportunities. We actually just announced today, which we're a little bit out of our depth on this one, but we felt that it was necessary. We just announced our title sponsorship to Redbud this year.
Oh,
So
congratulations,
we're
Red Bud. No way.
we're over the moon about that. If you would have asked me, a year ago if we'd be sponsoring an event like that, especially Redbud, I would have said there's no way. But the opportunity came across our desk and we had to find a way to win. We really did. It wasn't something that necessarily as a small brand that we could afford to do, but we felt that we needed to do it, and here we are. So, but yeah, I mean, we definitely are growing. Our hookup platform's growing, and we definitely encourage people to continue to sign up through the hookup platform. But every day I field most of the support emails that come in and looking for sponsorships, and that's why it's very fresh right now when I do say don't just send an email with your hand out, but also don't give up when I say not right now. So
What is it that you're looking for? What would get your attention?
I mean, let's be honest, for us to exist and for us to be existent and have a budget to be supporting other riders, we've got to sell. And for us right now, our primary focus is power sports dealerships. And I think one of the big pluses is if a guy can walk in the door and send me an email and say, hey, I'd really like to work with you guys. I actually have a great relationship with the dealer down the street. If I could help you guys get some sales with our dealer, is there something that we could do to work together? I know that sounds kind of far-fetched, but it does happen more often than you think. And those small town dealerships that maybe don't know about us, I mean, the word of mouth is huge to us right now as a small company. That's one of many ways. Or just tell us how you can represent us out in the field. And again, it's that crawl, walk, run mentality right now. So who knows where we'll be in 5 years, and what we can do to support you along the way may change dramatically, even 6 months to a year. So
So with my sponsorship mind going 100 miles an hour right now, I can't help but think that if there is a rider out there who is sponsored by a beverage company or any food company that needs to be kept cold, that's probably a rider you might consider because then you could meet that rider's other sponsors and partner with them and do some cross promotions. If a rider's sponsored by an energy drink, well, now you meet that energy drink, you work with that energy drink because you're a cooler company. Is that a logical way to look at it?
oh, absolutely. Collaborations, brand partnerships. I mean, it goes so far, and not all of it's got to be money tied. I mean, sometimes there's an opportunity, if you've got a great sponsor to say, hey, connect the dots. And, we talked about that, you and I, Alex, that goes so far for a brand. If you can bring people together at the B2B level, that's so important, especially for small brands to be able to work with other brands. So, that's definitely a key component, I would say.
And I'm assuming small brand also affiliate programs are a good way to start, product discounts, affiliate programs. Do you have an affiliate program? And if someone's interested, how can they sign up for it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's they just go to bobschool.com, affiliates at the bottom. It's pretty turnkey. Sign up and we'd be stoked to start a relationship there is a great way to go for sure.
That's cool. That's
Thanks
cool.
for mentioning that.
Yeah, it's funny on this whole 3 hour call, I don't think it was once really brought up or really not really talked about, although it's becoming an increasingly large part of sponsorships now. Most brands do have affiliate programs because almost everybody's selling direct. A lot of brands will say, oh no, we only sell through distributors and retailers. Yeah, they're also selling direct on Amazon.
Yeah, that's right. It's true.
That
It's
happens a
true.
lot. So you've
Got
been
a
in
turtle
sponsorship a
everywhere.
long time. What last words of advice do you have? And then I know that you have a coupon code for anybody on the call for a cooler. And then there's another coupon code as well. I'll explain that in just a second. But last words of advice before we wrap this up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was my big kind of, don't be afraid to quit. You know, just keep going. One of those emails are going to work. Be persistent and find a way to win.